Hi, y'all. I see a few people in the room. If you want to just go ahead and say hi. We are waiting right now on Vanessa to join us. She's running just a little bit late, but she is going to show up. So if you want to say hi, I can start talking to whoever's in the room. We can chat for a few minutes. Hi, Carol. How are you? Yay. See who else shows up here. I am love. I love that name. Hi. Hey, Dee. It's good to see you. Always get excited to see a familiar face in the room. Vanessa will be joining us. Oh, here she comes. She's running just a little bit late there. Hey, girl.
Hey. I'm good, Sheryl.
We're just getting started here. Dream Girl Spirituality. Hello, Carol. Good. I'm glad you're doing great. Diane. Hi. How are you? Okay, so it's been a day, huh? Hi, Michelle. It's good to see you. Vanessa, it's been a day, girl.
It's been a day.
Oh,
it's been a week.
It's been a week, huh? Jake.
It's all good though.
Okay, good. Jake is doing great. He's back with his mom and he's real excited about that. They left to go back to New Orleans yesterday morning. So he's doing good. He's a great dog. Love that baby. Let's see if I can put us on double screen there. Hi, LaShawn. How are you? It's good to see you. Vanessa D says hi. How are you?
Hey, D. I'm good.
So we didn't get together before today's live to talk about what we're going to talk about. So we don't even know what we're going to talk about. Yes, Michelle, dogs are just like kids. And let me tell you something, that Jake is spoiled. He loves his mama, but he's a really, really good dog because I had a treat for him and I said, but you have to sit. And he sat down. And then I've seen her and it's like, she says, give me your paw. So I tried that. I said, give me your paw. And he did. So then I gave him the treat. Great little dog.
Dogs are the best.
I did a live Tuesday night and I had, hey, Donald, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you joined us. I was babysitting my daughter's dog, Jake. So and he was like talking the whole time, yapping. So he jumped up in my lap to say hi to everybody.
Precious.
I don't know if y'all could all tell out there if y'all were watching that. I'm like, okay, good. That's good. You can go because I'm not the biggest. I love animals. I'm just not real good with them in my space. I always laughed and said whenever I get to the other side, my angels are going to say, what is it with you and animals? Why didn't you like them licking your face and stuff? Because a lot of people.
Why don't we do open Q&A tonight? What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea.
I don't know if I have the wisdom to answer, but we can give it a try. I like the idea.
One of my favorite teachers, Friar Richard Rohr, he says, we're going to do question and response. He says, because I might not have all the answers, but I'll at least respond somehow.
Love that.
Yes, I love him.
Use that. Yes. Yeah. So guys, I may not have an answer for your question, but I will come up with a response.
Yeah, and for me, I may not have an answer, but I will come up with a response. So TC came right out of the gate with a question. Have you heard of Kundalini Syndrome and how to treat it?
Honestly, I've never heard of Kundalini Syndrome. I know what Kundalini is. I know it's an energy that flows up and down our 7 chakra centers. In fact, I've been teaching on chakras all this week on my YouTube channel. But can she give us some clarity on, unless you're familiar with the syndrome part is?
No.
What happens
no,
when you have a syndrome?
Michelle's talking in there. She said, hey, TC, not sure this is the same, but I had an acupuncture treatment that opened up her Kundalini, and she was told she didn't know what that was, but she had a full-on physical breakdown. Oh, wow. Wow. See, I've never heard of any.
So what happens with the syndrome? Can you tell us what the symptoms are? What's the
TC?
manifestation of a syndrome?
Yeah, TC, maybe TC can tell us that. I was thinking while we're waiting on questions to come in, perhaps you could talk about the solar plexus chakra. I went and watched your live. I watched the replay.
Watch the replay?
Yeah.
Yes, I had a great time. As you guys can see, I got my yellow on. I took some of the yellow off because that's the color for the solar plexus. So the solar plexus chakra is one of two navel chakras. The other one is the sacral chakra. And this is the one that's located right above the belly button, the navel area. And it really has to do a lot with our confidence and being in total control of ourselves. How many times have y'all felt like over the course of your life that you've lost control or you didn't have control of your own life? I've been there where I yielded control. Sometimes we do it consciously and sometimes we do it unconsciously, where we yield that power and that control of our life over to somebody or something else. So when that happens, you damage, weaken, or absolutely stop or shut down your solar plexus, which makes relationships very difficult. Not only that, it makes it very difficult for you to even come into your own truth because you lack confidence, you have low self-esteem, you have low self-worth, low self-image. And as I said today, Sheryl, we see this, and I've been there with rejection issues, people who suffer from rejection from maybe, it could be parental, neglect or detachment. It could be spousal abuse. We saw a lot of rejection issues in ministry. I saw that a lot when I was in ministry. A lot of times people turn to ministry because they're rejected.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. But Michelle and TC are talking about this. So Michelle had a full-on physical breakdown. TC had even seizures from the energy blockages. And Michelle was told that they opened up too many channels all at once.
So I got a question for Michelle. Did she?
Back pain and memory loss and scattered mind.
Did she? So for Michelle, who went to have acupuncture, did you do that for the intent and purposes of opening your Kundalini, or did it just happen as a result of you having the acupuncture?
She said it just happened. It was an accident. The treatment that opened up her Kundalini, she was told she didn't know that, but she had a full-on physical breakdown. The acupuncture opened too many channels at once. Am I correct, Michelle, that it just happened? That's not what you were there for, correct? She'll answer us in just a few minutes because there's a 20-second delay. Thank God it's not 20-minute delay.
Okay, so TC says seizures from the energy blockages, back pain is a symptom, memory loss is another, scattered mind. Well, this is my answer, Sheryl, and you can add to it. Once she told me the symptoms, this is my answer. I'm not a medical doctor, so this is not medical advice. I just got to put that disclaimer out there. I think if she were to go back in and do chakra therapy from scratch, I think she can reverse the symptoms, assuming that that's what it is. And again, I'm not a medical doctor, don't know if that's what's really happening, but based on her statement, the body will self-heal, it'll self-correct. So what I would recommend you do is actually start your chakra therapy over from scratch with all 7 of the chakras. It may not happen overnight.
Donald, it's good to see you. And I'm sorry, Donald, I guess you're leaving us. We love you so much. Medical doctors don't have a clue is what she's saying. So yeah, so the body is meant to heal itself, definitely.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to her is if she starts if she does energy healing, if she does chakra therapy and work to heal all of them. And that also would include working with her, the negative emotions in her subconscious, because she talked about memories. Yes. I think she's the one that talked about me. So if you do all of that inner work, I think you can correct it. If you want to go to my channel, I don't know if you have recommendations, Sheryl, but I've been teaching on chakras all week and how to heal them. I couldn't go into all the details because it would be on there too long. But even if you don't want to watch my videos, there's ebooks and all kind of books and programs that you can buy that you can self-train on how to correct the chakras and hopefully reverse those symptoms and side effects.
Now say what was the last thing you said? Where can you self-train?
I just told her if she doesn't want to watch, if she doesn't want to use just my videos, she can just, there's all kinds of things online, programs, books, ebooks that she can purchase herself and study and do the work herself.
Yes. And I do know that there are, and this is just me, what I would do. Vanessa, I would probably call you and ask your advice, but then I would also call somebody that there's a lady that has a YouTube channel called Chakra Boosters, and that is all she does is chakra work.
That's what I'm saying. There's all kinds of, it doesn't have to be me, but I'm just saying, she needs to go and get the work done.
Yeah, I would find out somebody who understands what has happened to you and has had experience working with that before. So, hey, Kyle, it's good to see you, Kyle Butler.
Hey, Kyle.
Nice
Kyle
to
is
see
my
you,
hero.
I know, me too. D. Baker says maybe a lot of toxins came out. That's true. No, TC, they don't. What is your question? Medical doctors don't have a clue. Yeah, they don't.
No, they just in it for the money.
I need a name for this new business. I feel spirit is guiding me to create a business. I have starting making little flower pots and yard flower pots to make a turtle panda bear. Oh, Donna, that's really cool. Maybe somebody might have an idea for you for a name. Michelle, it's been a year since this has happened and I've done tons of healing through yoga, Reiki, and a different acupuncturist. That's very good. There is a very good person named Santos online on YouTube. Okay, so there's another referral for you. So you can get with Vanessa, check out Chakra Boosters on YouTube, and then this other guy. So you've got a few resources there to check out. So
because you got to understand with chakras, it's really about trapped energies. And so you really need to make sure that you don't have, trapped trauma in your body that needs to be moved out. It's not so much about just the chakra work, but it's really about what trapped trauma might be in her body. So you want to think about that too. And a lot of people don't like going to like therapy and counseling and stuff, but sometimes if you can't figure out for yourself the root cause of this stuff, you need to work with somebody that can give you the proper assessments, ask the right questions, help you remember what some of this unconscious trapped trauma may be that's causing this stuff too.
Right.
But anyway.
Right. So Alexa J, hi from Australia. She says, great advice, Vanessa. It's important to stay grounded. Chakra cleansing. She's studying energy medicine at the moment. That's pretty amazing. And hey, Sapphire, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you popped in. Okay, so let's talk about your experience while you were, that's what I want to talk about. Your experience while you were doing these readings, and of course the sun was shining through behind you. But there was also an incredible power coming through there. Tell them about that.
Something happened today that has absolutely rendered me paralyzed in the spirit. That's partly why I was late getting on tonight, because I'm trying to, I've always had and known I've had the, healing gifts. But y'all know I'm a church girl. So when you're a church girl, your gifts are suppressed and they can only be used a certain way. Come to the altar, let me lay hands on you, let me prophesy, let me call that thing out. So that was the gist of my healing ministry. Well, leaving religion, not leaving God, leaving religion has opened me up to the universe. And so today I was doing, I'm getting chills now. So today I was doing a reading, and clearly that was a very strong light from the sun coming through my window, but I could feel the glory from the light, which I don't even think it was the sun, because at my house, the sun faces that way, not this way. And it was pretty overcast here today. So it was really amazing because I could feel the glory of God, source, spirit, whatever you guys want to call it. And the presence came over me, Sheryl.
I was waiting for you to start speaking in tongues. I was getting
ready to start. I was speaking in tongues inside. and then my ear, when I tell you, I could hear
it's throbbing. Yeah.
It was like a ocean. It was like waves at the ocean. You ever heard waves at the?
Yes.
They were in this left ear.
Mm-hmm.
It was the voice of God speaking in my ear.
I believe that.
In this scripture, it talks about, the God in a metaphorical sense, the God's voice is the voice of many rivers, right? Well, that's what it sounded like. So then I began to, you could call it prophecy, but I began to speak because I could hear the spirit saying, there's someone watching and they're having issues with their ear, sinuses, swollen throat. So I began to call those things out. I was under we used to call it in church, Sheryl, we used to call it an anointing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I was under such an anointing today. I went silent. I closed my eyes. I couldn't think. I couldn't see. So I released the word. Well, as soon as I hung up from the broadcast, as soon as I logged out, I got a text message. And the person said, you don't know this, but ever since I lost my voice, they had a cold or something. They said, my throat's been swelling. My ears been having issues with my ears. It was me that you were talking about. Well, and I got the text to prove it. So what I'm saying tonight, y'all, and this is why I'm on a mission. I got this sweet lady on Facebook, which is why I was late again, because I was trying to get my tears dried up. This beautiful lady on Facebook, she posted this long status just now, thanking me for setting the example, despite the ridicule that I've gotten. And I've gotten some ridicule even online. I've been bullied online. But despite, she said, thank you for just being bold and brave and teaching me how to do it. When I let religion go and I open my spirit up to God's universe, y'all, the universe is filled with, there's an unlimited supply of healing resources in this universe.
Yes.
I'm trying not to cry because I feel God again.
Yeah. But it's true.
And everything we need, it's out there for us. First of all, a lot of it's inside of us.
Yes. Yes.
But here's the kicker, and this may help. Was it TC?
Yes, TC.
Here's the thing. And I talked about these trapped emotions because a lot of times the energies get trapped because we're holding on to stuff that we need to release.
Yes.
Oh God. Yes. Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yeah, we are.
That's what I was doing. We hold on and we don't want to let go of what's familiar.
Right.
We don't want to let go of what we know.
Because it's comfortable.
Because it's comfortable.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Even if it's uncomfortable, but it's comfortable to that place in us.
Right.
So we hold on to people, places, things, belief systems, whatever the case may be. We hold on and we don't realize what's happening at a deep inner level. And once I let all that stuff go, Miss Sheryl, I'm telling you, it's like God himself is almost, whoever God is, come down out of heaven and said, here's everything that you've been waiting for.
Yes.
I had a dream the other night. It was a lucid dream. I've been lucid dreaming a lot. Uh-huh. So I was very much aware that I was in this dream, and I'll give y'all the short version. But in this lucid dream, I knew I was dreaming, but I heard myself say, do not wake up.
Yeah.
I was swimming in white water, huge body of white water. and I was swimming my butt off. And I'm not that good of a swimmer. And there was a lot of other things in the dream, but that's the part I want to talk about tonight, because I woke up and I said, what was that, God? Y'all know I love numerology. I broke the words white water down in numerology. I spelled it numerically. White is the number 11, which is the master number. It is for psychic energy, for a spiritual awakening, right? It's the number that that says we're in touch with our spirit guides, and we're in touch with our higher self. It's that powerful master number. Water is the number 22. It's one of the elements of nature. It's the life force, right? It also has to do with,
You got 11 and 22.
11 and 22. And it also has to do with emotions and energy. I'm telling you guys, when you guys put those two concepts together, when you use your psychic energy, when you use the faculties of your mind that God has given you, and you swim past those negative limiting beliefs and those energies and those emotions, the world, the universe is going to be infinite for you, limitless. And that's why that water was, as much as I kept swimming, Sheryl, I could never get to the other side of the water. And so God said, there's an infinite supply of abundance in my universe, but you gotta detach.
Yes.
We gotta detach, y'all.
And not only that, we got to quit thinking small, because
Yes.
God or source can do bigger and better than we can even imagine, than we even know how to imagine. So sometimes when we talk about on my channel, when we talk about prayer or manifesting, we talk about, be specific, but always say at the end, or better if you have it, surprise me.
Yes.
Show me what you can do. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Michelle acknowledges that, yes, that breakdown that she had, that's why she had it, because she had been carrying such old trauma, and the acupuncture released it all at the same time. And somebody here from the UK is just waking up. Hi, Icarus. Sapphire, what is white water in your dream? Coronavirus warning of missed consciousness extending around you. I think that's what she was just saying, Sapphire, that it was more about the numerical part of it, because you love numerology so much.
I do.
Women.
That's how I interpret my messages, is through numerology.
Right.
So yeah.
TC says that was the time here in Brisbane, Australia, 11:22, when you were talking about that. I love it.
No way.
I love it.
Oh, I see it. Oh my God, that is crazy.
So do any of you guys get wild dreams like that you just say yes if you do? I know I've had I talked about one of the dreams that I had the other night that I interpreted. It was actually, I had it during a meditation. But I woke up and interpreted. It gave me the answer to something that I was asking. I'm a lazy meditator. That's what I call myself, because I lay down to meditate. So, and that's one of the ways that God source speaks to us, is through dreams, lucid dreaming.
Yes.
Do you astral travel?
I've started. So let me tell you, the other night I astral traveled. The only thing is I could not tell where I was at yet. But I was flying in the dream, and I knew I was, so it was lucid and astral at the same time, because I knew I was dreaming. So I wasn't flying in a plane. Me, myself, was suspended in air, flying around this beautiful city. And I remember just looking down at all of the tall buildings and the lights, but I still don't know where I was. And that's because I'm new at astral travel, though. So I gotta get in the habit of hearing those voices, hearing the angels, and knowing where I'm at and stuff. But I have started doing the astral travel, and it's quite thrilling, because I know, see, this is what the spirit was saying to me. These are all the places I'm going to take you. I'm going to show you. So I'm giving you a snapshot, a preview of where you're going to go, of everything. Yeah, from a heavenly view.
Right. Isn't
Because
that so powerful?
It's so powerful.
Well, and not only that, the spirit is a spaceship. I love that, Sapphire. Our spirit is a spaceship. That's what she said.
I got her.
Little spaceships. I always say every single one of us is our own little universe walking around. I really believe that.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about astral travel for just a little bit more. Back in my church days, I thought I was having a heart attack one night. I didn't actually wake up, but I could feel this electricity all over my body. And then I left outside of my body. And it was really, really, really weird, but I just kind of floated there. And so this started happening on a regular basis. That first night I was really scared. I thought I was having a heart attack.
Wow.
But it's like the vibration with my spirit coming out of my body was just so massive. That's, I guess, what I felt. But so
you feel that every time? You feel that every time?
I feel a very severe vibration every time.
Wow.
Yes. So, but I never get to go anywhere. Like the best I get to do is just I kind of look like those people that are in the like in the space centers playing with no gravity, where they just like I just float above myself and do flips and stuff like that. But it started when I was still very deep in church. So
Me too.
I called one of my former pastors, because I didn't want to talk to my current pastor about it. And I said, I called the pastor who was the pastor when I got saved. And I said, Brother Isaac, what do you think I should do about this? He said, I think God's trying to give you a spiritual message. I think you need to take your Bible and go away for a few days, just you and your Bible and, food or whatever, and ask God to show you. And God showed me quite a bit of stuff that weekend. One of the things that happened is that because I was asking, what are the promises for your people? And what is all this about? What are the promises for your people? And I'm telling you, whenever I opened my eyes, it's like this, I was in a hotel room, and the top part of the hotel room went away. It all opened up. It was this huge dark sky with millions of stars everywhere.
Wow.
And it was just absolutely so gorgeous. And basically what I heard was my promise, my covenant was not just with any certain person, it's with every person.
Yes.
My covenant is with every person. Basically, that's what you told me. And then I said, okay, great. Tell me which disciple I'm most like. We're so full of ego. And he said, Peter. And I like that. Because, Peter,
I don't find that hard to believe, Sheryl.
Huh? You what?
I don't find that hard to believe at all.
And I was like, huh. Well, I was upset. I said, well, because Peter denied Christ 3 times. And God laughed like he always does. And he says, you need to study Peter deeper. But anyway, so there's some really supernatural experiences to be had. All we got to do is open ourselves to it.
All we got to do is open ourselves and not be afraid, and get rid of that fear. Fear is such a low vibration. It'll keep everything away from you.
TC saying in Freemasonry, 11 have names Jachin and Boaz.
She's right.
Powers represented in
It is. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it represents the columns. See, 1 and 1, the number 1 is actually supposed to represent spirit coming out of heaven and descending down to earth too. So she's absolutely right. It does represent those 2 names.
Wow. I love that. So LaShawn says, when you say astral travel, is that produced from deep meditation as to what you're meditating on? Not necessarily. That's not been my.
No, it's a type of dream. I would call it a dream state. You don't have to be meditation, but I do think it's okay to ask God to allow you to astral travel. So what happens is when you're sleeping, you leave your body on your bed, your spirit detaches from your body, and it goes to different locations outside of your physical location, and you are aware of it when it's happening.
Yes, you're very aware.
Is that about? Yeah. And I think the more spiritual we become, I think Source is able to trust us with more. Here's what I think: if we're afraid and fearful, I think God is going to keep stuff away from us because he doesn't want us to be terrified,
right,
you know, and terrorized. But there's a lot of things that I think we need to be able to see in the other dimension. It may not be manifesting in our three-dimensional reality, but everything's already created. That's what I believe.
Right, it is.
But sometimes, because if we can't see it, our faith starts to get shallow. See, y'all, when we was in church, I'm just gonna talk about me. We were just trained to have faith, and we just faithed our way through everything. But there's a higher consciousness that we can get to where you don't have to just do everything by faith. There is an inner knowing. There is a knowing that can take place. And with astral projecting, it's really just your spirit going out into other dimensions and showing you what's already created out there for you to help build your faith, to know that you can have that. You can bring that back into your reality. Now, here's what I do, LaShawn, and this is what I did the other night. Once I astral projected and once my spirit saw the things that was available to me, then I came back into my body, and then I began to meditate. And because alchemy is about training your mind, you know, to create and produce and manifest. So that part's going to require some meditation. So I meditated once my spirit came back and joined my body. Then, yes, when I got up that day, then I did spend time in meditation about what I saw and what I need to do to manifest that, right? Because otherwise stuff is just going to always be dreams. Right. Dreams are good, but we want the dreams to become reality.
So now there are some thoughts out there, mindsets, and I actually believe this, that we all actually do astral travel every night. We just don't know it. We're not aware of it. But whenever you wake up and you have body paralysis for just a couple minutes, that's because you woke up before your spirit was back. And
I used to have that all the time.
It's got to reintegrate into your body before you can move again. So if you've ever,
it's really about awareness, though. If people don't, if we don't know it, it's something powerful happens when that thought form gets awakened in your consciousness. And once you become aware of something, now tonight, probably everybody's going to be astral projecting tonight, because a lot of times we just need that thought form, that thought seed to be awakened. We need somebody to water that idea. See, when I was in church, Sheryl, I did these same things, but it was always demonic, because that's the programming that I was under.
Right.
So whenever I would have these, you know, the paralysis, the sleep paralysis, I was told it was a witch riding my back.
Yeah.
I was told it was a demon. All these things. And so I created such a fear around those things because of my programming. I wasn't able to benefit from astral projecting, but now I'm understanding what it really is. So my mindset's changing. So yeah, I think we astral project every time we close our eyes and go into sleep. We leave this plane of existence and go somewhere. We may not remember where, but we go somewhere every night.
We do. We go somewhere every night. Okay, so we have a few questions here. I want to go to Bright Smiles. They're saying they've recently invited in their spirit guides and archangels, and they want to know, how do you know when they're speaking with you versus your own thoughts? And we're going to tell you, like we say practically every time we talk about stuff like this, we can tell you our experience and how we understand it, but it's going to be different for each one of you. Go ahead, Vanessa.
Thank you for saying that part. Now I don't have to say that part. And I think I answered something like this similar a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So for me, and again, detaching from religion has absolutely amplified those voices. But for me, it comes from a life of prayer anyway. So I've always been a woman of prayer, and I've always felt like I was connected to God through the Holy Spirit, is what I call it. But what you can do is just what I do is set my intentions. And I say things like, and especially now that I understand the brain, I'll specifically say, I want to shut down this left hemisphere that's judgmental, that's critical, that's doubtful, that's going to second guess. Spirit, shut that down and awaken my right hemisphere, which we believe is the more intuitive side of the brain, the more spiritual side, the prophetic side, the side that's connected to your pineal gland. So I set those intentions every day, all day. All right. And if we get to know ourselves, because I've had to get to know myself.
Yeah.
Right. I've had to get to know my soul.
In a whole different way.
In a whole different way. And then once you get to know yourself, you can easily separate those voices. So I don't think it's something that you just do overnight. But when you give yourself the attention that you need, get to know your soul, set your intentions. Source is not, this is just my belief. The angels and our spirit team and source and God, I just believe it's all love and light. So I just don't believe that you're going to hear, now you're not going to always like what you hear. It may be a corrective message, but source is not going to tell you to jump off the building or hurt somebody else, or, I just don't believe that. No. So it's kind of having an understanding of what God really is to you, and understanding that it's pure love, pure light, pure energy. That's one way. Get to know your soul, and you can do that through meditation, through journaling, through remembering your old self, any past lives that you may have been, that you may have suppressed that. So you get to know your soul, and you're separating those voices. And I promise you, you're going to get a clear channel of communication from your soul, because y'all, we are a direct emanation of source. We were squeezed out of the first cause, that which we call God. We were all squeezed out of that, the same way the Holy Spirit was, the same way Jesus was, same way Buddha was. We all were squeezed out of that anyway. What happened is we came here, and then our subconscious mind got programmed with garbage and negative information and negative energy, and we got our self-awareness got suppressed. So we don't remember what that voice sounds like. We don't remember what the angels sound like. We don't remember what spirit sounds like, because we have all these other voices and imagery in our subconscious. Clear all that out, and I promise you, it's going to sound crystal clear. And the other part that I'm done, Sheryl, when we say the voice, it may not... No. Spirit can speak through so many portals and through so many avenues. Today, Spirit spoke through my left eardrum.
Yeah.
Right. But I was yielded and I'm open. And so I was able to channel that information. So just be open to allow Spirit to speak to you however Spirit wants to. And don't limit Spirit. Take Spirit out the box.
Right.
We had Spirit in the box for so long, so we didn't recognize. I don't believe that God is silent. I used to teach that stuff, that sometimes, God is silent, and I don't believe God is ever silent, because it's not possible, because God is everything. God is in all.
Right.
Sometimes I hear God speak to me through my dog, through Juliet.
Yeah. So, and basically my answer to that is basically the same, but I do think it's different for everybody. Yes. I always say Spirit's going to meet you where you are. Sometimes it sounds like your own voice. But this is what I'll say: Spirit will never talk down to you. Your own voice will. We will talk down to ourselves. Spirit will never, ever do that. It may not be what you want to hear. And if you've all been here, you've heard my story. Spirit told me you were never abused. If there was an abuser, it was you. But it was given, that message was given to me in a way that I accepted it, and I knew it was in love. Spirit wasn't saying, you're the idiot that was being, that's what Spirit was saying. So, and then again, there's pictures, I'll see like a picture of something right up here or right up here, and stuff like that. So like Vanessa said, just the more you do it, the more you're going to trust yourself. I think the biggest mistake people make is thinking that it's only one way. That's one way. It only happens one way. Yes. And the other mistake is that it's always this glorious, before it happens, you know, and that's not it at all. They're gonna meet you where you are. Spirit has used songs to speak to me.
Oh,
To
absolutely.
answer questions and all that stuff. So yeah, you're going to know the more you're in this relationship and the more you do this back and forth, you're gonna know.
You're gonna know.
The only thing I'm gonna tell you is that, like Vanessa said, and like I said a while ago, Spirit's never going to talk down to you or tell you to go hurt somebody.
That's right.
They will never do that.
That's not going to happen.
That's the only thing that I can say is an absolute. We have a lot of stuff going on in here. So Sapphire said something about in the she's talking about the astral travel, when the body paralysis is spiritual kidnapping. And I don't know where you're getting that information. That's not my experience. But she says there's a great war going on as we speak. We come here to Earth to rest from that war, to be our higher selves forever, to recycle our powers and grow stronger to end the war. So Sapphire has kind of a different background and a different experience than anything that I'm accustomed to. But my experience with astral travel and anything in this spiritual community is that my source, my Father, my God is never, because I do absolutely love, honor, and respect that original source, never going to lead me down the wrong road. Never. I honestly believe that.
I can't see, and that's why I'm so healed after leaving religion, because as I told you guys before, I spent my entire Christian life in warfare and, you know, seeing demons and fighting evil forces and invisible forces. And I awakened to a truth about God that healed me and saved my life, probably. So for me, I again, whatever a man thinks in his heart, I think that's what you manifest. So
yes. Yes.
I don't want to be a part of
no
anything evil, dark, spooky, scary,
right,
where I'm wrestling in war. That's not my experience, because that's not what I set out in the universe. I told the universe exactly what kind of experiences I want to have in this awakening and in this enlightenment, and that's what's been happening to me. So I'm not discrediting anybody else's experience, but I will say this, guys, the mind is the human mind, God gave us a human mind. I've been studying the consciousness all day. Let me tell you, we're powerful. We are powerful beings, and you can create your reality, and you can create whatever reality, whatever experiences you want to have. And if you want light and peace and love in your experience, you can set that intention in the universe. You can send that word, and it will not come back to you void.
That's right.
It will give you exactly what you set your mind on.
Yes. So now, I'm sorry, Sapphire saying that spiritual warfare is real just the same way that bullies are real in this world. And I agree with that. That's true. But I believe that it doesn't have to be my experience.
You got the power to choose that, though.
Right. Just like
we don't have to be in war.
No, just like you were saying a while back in church, you were slaying demons and exorcising demons out of all kinds of people, but y'all were looking for the demons to exorcise.
Because we was looking for the demons. It's everybody in the room. The energy was matching.
Right.
So we all wanted it. We all expected it. We were all on the same wavelength. It was a perfect. Setup for manifestation.
Yeah.
I need to get about 20 people in my life that want to become a millionaire tonight.
That's right. Okay, so I believe we can exclude ourselves from certain experiences, but they're real as me and you. I agree with that. They are as real as you and me, Sapphire. I do agree with that. I just don't play in that playground. And I will not.
They're not real to me, though. They're not real to me, because they're real to whoever decides that they're real.
But that's what I'm saying. It's still real for those people. Absolutely.
Yeah, for those people, yeah.
The warning in church, but I got to go tomorrow night. Help. Breanna, we're going to be praying for you, baby. She says she's so tired of the warning in church, but she's got to go tomorrow night.
The warring. But
The
why do you have to
warring,
go?
okay.
Why do you have to go tomorrow night? Oh. I mean, and I'm saying that with all love. Like, why do you have to go to, why do you have to go tomorrow night?
She's going to tell you. Michelle says she's in on the $1 million. I want to go back up here.
Michelle.
I want to go back up here. Icarus Alchemist said earlier that he astral traveled. I guess it's a he. Astral traveled. Hang on, I'm going to find it because it was really good. Like he was sitting on a sofa and at church at the same time.
I'm
and
over
so
here
he wants to
chatting with
know
Michelle.
Huh?
I'm over here chatting with Michelle. Okay, I'm sorry.
Y'all going after that $1 million.
We're going after the $1 million.
Okay, hey, I just woke up from a strange dream. Okay, that was a while ago. Hang on, it's after that.
I'm trying to find it.
Here it is. I astral traveled to the moon once in a lucid dream. Well, it was before that. And there were people there taking exams. Wow.
Really?
That's cool.
I want to hear more about that because I really believe there's life on these other planets. Do you, Michelle?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt. We would be very arrogant to think that we were the only intelligent life created by source.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's real arrogant. And real exclusive and really antiquated thinking.
Especially whenever you think about how huge it's not a universe, the multiverse is.
The multiverse. And it's huge. The universes are huge.
How many galaxies are out there? Galaxies?
I don't know, sure, but the universe is huge. And they say that it's expanding by the day.
Yeah. It's multiplying.
Yeah. So he astral projected to the moon and saw people.
Yeah, taking exams. But Icarus, you said something earlier, I'm almost positive it was you or somebody did, about astral traveling. You were in your home and at church at the same time. Does that make you a psychic? I can't find it again.
Who was that?
It might be the wrong person. I might have read it from the wrong person. TC, your real name is Troy. Hey, Troy, we'll try to remember that next time and call you by your name, unless you would rather say TC. No. I swear I thought I saw that he put in there that he was at his house and at church at the same time, but it may have been somebody else who had that experience. Whoever had that experience, say it again, please. And Sapphire says the angels have their own planets too. Sapphire, are you what they call a star seed? Just asking. Almost awake to knowing you are both the devil and saint. Hey, sweet thunder, guess what? I actually got that revelation like probably almost a year ago, not quite a year ago. I got that revelation that there's both living inside of us, and we have to choose, right? Which way we go.
It's the law of polarity.
Yes.
It's just a lesser degree of one. One is a lesser degree of the other one. That's all it is. Same with the light and darkness.
It was 11:33. It was 11:33 when they said that, Alexa. 11:33.
But what time would that be?
Oh, okay. It was Muhammad Berry. I've experienced astral travel once, wherein I was in my living room and also at my church at the same time. Can you please tell me whether that means I've got psychic abilities? First of all, I'm going to say we all have all of those abilities. We just have to be willing and ready to develop them. Okay, go ahead, Vanessa. What do you say?
You're fine.
Well,
you're right.
I think
everybody's a psychic, y'all.
Everybody's a psychic.
Everybody's a psychic. A psychic just means, I know we all think it's about predicting the future, but I'm going to talk about this Sunday in my course. Psychic just means the awareness of mind and soul. Now I'm going to go deeper Sunday. Everybody has a mind. Everybody has a soul. It's about a collective consciousness. And it's about tapping into the thoughts that are inside of the collective mind. That's all a psychic is. And everybody has that ability. Everybody just has not, awakened it or tapped into it.
Right.
Developed it,
right. But everybody absolutely does have it. So if you were in two places at one time, does that mean you're a psychic? I think that means that you're a biolocator, which is really very, very cool. The government has hired people who have those abilities to do what they call remote viewing. Back in the 70s, even, the government had some different people hired to like go find a downed aircraft or go check in and see what y'all need to Google that or YouTube it if you've never done it. It's called remote viewing, and the government uses it. They hire people to do it. I think the actual program, according to the government, has been shut down where they don't do it anymore. But I believe they just don't want us to know they're doing it anymore.
Of course.
But there were some big write-ups about it from the 70s. So yeah, I think that not only are you a psychic, I think you're you biolocated. In other words, you split yourself in two and was experiencing both places at once, which is what remote viewers do, from what I understand. So you could go get a government job with the CIA.
Exactly. We're powerful beings, y'all. We are so powerful.
We are very powerful, but we just don't know it.
Guys, we don't know it. Exactly.
We're coming up on the top of the hour, and our regular thing has usually been an hour and a half. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and start asking questions. I know we've been kind of communicating with each other throughout the evening, but yeah, if you have questions, please ask them, because we're going to be starting to wind it down here in a little bit.
Look at Sweet Thunder's comment. I like what Sweet Thunder says. I've been studying
anything such as the internet. We were so intricately connected to the universe that we were not sold our abilities like we are now. I know, right?
I've been studying that. I've been studying the Kemet all day, the Egyptian alchemy. It's so powerful. But you know what? We're going back to that day. Like, I think the internet's going to lose a little bit of its momentum eventually, because the internet has suppressed a lot of our spiritual gifts too, I believe. We resort to the internet to find out everything, and we can get the information so quickly. But the ancient people, they used, as above, so below. So they used the sky and the planetary energies to know everything, to know when to plant, to know what the weather forecast was going to be, to know what was wrong with people in their physical body. I think it's absolutely fascinating. They came up with so much of this information without having technology. They created mathematical systems, and the languages were created in the pyramids before there was anything close to the type of technology we have today. So I think
water systems, their water systems.
Yes.
They're unreal. The way that they had those things mechanically running water through the villages, the cities, whatever you want to call them back then. With no tools.
With no tools. How did they build with no tools? But we got all of this fancy, smanchy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's shut down all of our mental faculties. It's shut down all of our consciousness has been almost deprived. We've been asleep, and everything has just been touch a button and you can have it in 30 seconds. And so we researched the internet for everything, to try to figure out who God is, to try to figure out why we're here. But I swear, guys, if we just turn the computers off and the smartphones off, and if we just sit still or lie still, however you want to do it, and trust yourself to just go there, to just go play out there.
Yes, it's incredible. I think that the human race communicated telepathically way before they communicated with any kind of voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the first law, the Hermetic law or Hermetic law is mentalism.
Mentalism.
All is mind.
All is mind.
But for those people who are like me, who fell in love with religion, all of those gifts and all of that knowledge just got kept away from me. I text LaShawn today. I said, my brain is about to explode. Where
Right.
has all this information been all my life?
Well, we didn't look for it.
We didn't look for it, so our brain didn't show it to us.
Right.
So yes, people communicated telepathically from the beginning of time. I was told telepathy was a demon.
Yeah.
I was told being psychic was of the devil. I was told all these things, but this is how people lived before we invented all these things.
Right. Right.
You know, all this artificial intelligence and all this stuff. We have the ability to be super intelligence. We're connected to the super consciousness that runs this entire universe.
Right.
And we're sitting around relying on somebody's books. The spirit told me today, don't just close that book and stop reading that article. Let me talk to you. Let me show you. Because the same person that wrote that book, they got their information from somebody else. It's all recycled information, y'all. We can write a book and just change the title and change the adverb, put a different adjective in there, but everybody's saying the same freaking thing. Get your original message from source sometimes.
Yes.
I'm on my little soapbox.
Okay,
Sheryl.
that's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. So a couple things I want to talk about. Sweet Thunder said, Muhammad, do not sell your gifts to the government. I think that's how he said it. Do not give your skills to the government. Right.
Yes.
And then Tina Jacobs wants to know if we have any recommendations to study for alchemy or Egyptian stuff. And then Sapphire wants to know, for both of us, are we afraid to meet God? I don't understand the hesitation is spiritual acquaintance. LOL, the holy ones are everywhere and in everyone.
Sapphire, you on a different plane from me. Do your thing.
She's a star seed, or he's a star seed, but I think that's great because because most of the people that follow this channel are actually coming out of church or have some kind of religious background. So, and I've been asked about star seeds and I don't know. So I'm really excited, Sapphire, that you're here. Or am I afraid to meet God? Absolutely not, because God is not some man sitting on a cloud somewhere. For me, God is absolutely not that. For me, God is the original source of everything that was created, and he's genderless. I say he's genderless, but he, she, it is genderless. It doesn't have a shape and a form like you and me. It's energy, it's spirit. But I understand from near-death experiencers and different people who have done past life regression work and stuff like that, and life between lives, that spirit is like all-consuming love. So am I afraid to meet that? Absolutely 100% no. I am not afraid to meet that, not at all. And I think
that question is coming from the whole, you know, the prior statements about, you know, we were talking about evil and the dark side of stuff. I think he's probably bouncing off of that.
I don't understand the hesitation, spiritual acquaintance. Holy ones are everywhere and in everyone. Okay, so yeah, I'm not afraid to meet God, but I don't. If I didn't answer your question, then I'm sorry if I misunderstood.
I mean, my answer to it again, the law of polarity has changed my life, and so everything is about degrees. Everything is about degrees, and I think every individual person gets to choose how they want to see the expression of God in the earth, and I think that's the beauty in it. If people want to experience God, you know, the evil degree of God, because that makes sense to me. If people want to experience and want to see in darkness and they want to be in war, they can create that reality. If that's the pole that they want to vibrate on, I don't have a problem with that. Right. I just choose not to, because I spent my whole life doing that in the church. So
right. The question is about,
and I've already met God, by the way.
Sapphire says the question is about our God. Yeah,
I've already met God. I've already met God. Me and God are one.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Already met God.
We've never been separated. But
No.
but I would imagine that there is going to be like a spiritual reunion whenever we actually do go back to the other side.
When we're pure spirit,
We're
absolutely.
pure spirit, yeah.
I don't think we've seen the true glory of God, quote unquote.
Right.
I don't
Absolutely.
think so. Yeah.
So Ammon wants us to please make prayer for everybody to get their psychic powers. Please make prayer for us to get our psychic powers. Well, I don't know that everybody in the news feed is ready for that prayer, but if you would like to email myself or Vanessa can be emailed at ladyceo@vanessaorbrooks.com, or you could email me at spiritmailtarot@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to I'd be happy to say a prayer with you about that. Okay, so please make prayer for us. Okay, it's all energy. Yes, Sweet Thunder, it's all energy. Please make prayer.
I think Sapphire is taking cheap shots at me, Miss Sheryl.
That's okay. And Sapphire is a she.
Oh, is it she? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Alexa, we should appreciate our journey because it's really not a destination. Every single day that we live, and I said this before somewhere that we can really experience heaven on earth. And somebody in the comments, it was a message or in the message or whatever, that I was reading my cards and their cards, and somebody in the comments said, yeah, right, that's never going to happen. Well, come to find out, she had actually had a near-death experience. So she has been to the other side. So, but whenever I say we can bring heaven to earth, what I mean is that, again, church girl here, the teachings of Jesus, he says the kingdom of heaven is within us.
In us.
So whenever we finally open up to the freedom of walking in these gifts that have been planted in us,
they're in us.
Yes, that we're ready to develop them, then yes, we can experience a whole different kind of life. We're not bogged down all the time and stressed about this and stressed about that. We're not experiencing life afraid that, oh my God, if I do this wrong, I'm going to hell. We're not. There's so many things that we're no longer bound to. So whenever you have that freedom, you begin to walk as if you're walking in heaven on earth. I believe that. My life has changed.
Mine has too.
Yeah.
I saw a diagram today, Miss Sheryl, and it was about that very scripture. It was talking about the kingdom of heaven is within. And the diaphragm, the picture, the image was of the person taking off the front half of their body, and on the inside was just all of these beautiful gifts that they had never activated or awakened. It was a really powerful image. We keep trying to look outside of ourselves to experience this power, and that's not the way that we were created by Source.
Right.
We were created to function as God in the earth, not as the God that created everything, but we were created to be able to function as God, so that we don't have to rely on external sources and external systems. If we learn how to awaken this goddess or God within us, y'all, we're going to live a completely different life. And we're not talking about just like money and stuff. We're talking about peace and joy and wholeness and manifestation and being able to use our gifts to heal other people and help awaken other people.
Yes.
So it's a magical power we have, y'all.
Those who are ready for it and want
it. For those that are ready.
Yeah.
For those that are not ready, we have to let them rest on.
So Dee, you have a very good question. Do you feel you've reached the frequency of heaven? For me, I feel like there have been times, however, I've never been to the other side, so I don't really know the frequency of heaven. But for me, there have been times when, and I don't mean this at all in any kind of sexual way, but there's times when I have felt like there's been a spiritual orgasm going on in my whole body, And it's because the energy and the frequency is so powerful and overwhelmingly love. So as far as my little monkey mind can determine, sometimes, yes, I think not, I don't walk in it every day, all day long, but sometimes in meditation, I do feel like I have reached that frequency. But again, it's hard for me to say that with definiteness because I've never been to the other side. I don't actually know what that frequency is. Vanessa?
I agree. Same way. But you mentioned, and I hope I can say this on this channel, but you mentioned something. You talked about spiritual orgasm, but honestly, there are people who are teaching that when you have a sexual orgasm, that is a very high frequency, and it very much puts you, even if just for those few seconds, it very much puts you in a different plane of existence.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it puts you in a heavenly frequency, but it definitely puts you in a different frequency for those few moments.
Right.
And, you know, I know for a lot of us who came out of church, sex is something that's very uncomfortable for people to talk about, but sex is a powerful thing if you use it responsibly.
Yes.
There's a reason why orgasm was created, and I think it was to help us to understand what creative force feels like. So no, I can't say that I'm just walking around, you know.
Right. Breanna, she said, how can you join the course on Monday? You already emailed Vanessa. That should be all it takes. She should be able
to
respond.
I saw your email, sweetie. I'm going to respond. I've just been very busy, but I got you. You in the course. Don't worry about it. I got you. I'm going to respond. I got you, Breanna. I got you.
And I'm going to need to get the replay for Sunday night. It's my third child's birthday. So I'm cooking birthday supper for her Sunday night. So
absolutely.
I'm going to be absent, but I would like the replay definitely, because I took a lot of notes last time, and I'm waiting on the notes that you were going to send us. I don't know if I just didn't.
I emailed you.
Oh, maybe I just missed them.
I emailed you. You were the first person I emailed when we got off the broadcast.
I'm so excited. I feel so special.
with all the links. I'm
gonna have to go check. Yeah.
If you don't have it, let me know so I can resend it.
Okay. So Sapphire says you're already awakened, so it's time to manifest. It's time to do, like manifest. Alexa says Palladian. Sheryl, I think Vanessa's holding out on us. I don't know about what. Tell us what you think she's holding out about. Great, I'm excited. Okay, D Baker, yes, me too, thank you. Oh, good. So D, so you've had that experience too, where maybe you don't walk in all the time, but you've had experiences where you feel this has to be that heavenly realm. Just say yes if I'm reading that right, that whenever you said yes, me too, thank you. If that's what you're talking about, that you have had that experience, say yes again, please. Do you believe schizophrenia is not a mental illness, but such a high spiritual frequency that our mind can't handle? I believe so. My son was diagnosed with that, and he goes to these spiritual places. I definitely have strong feelings about that. Go ahead, Vanessa, because you were going to say something.
I was.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Oh, you were answering somebody in there. Okay. So this is what I feel. I am not a psychologist, so I am not able to diagnose. I do believe that schizophrenia sometimes is misdiagnosed by people who do definitely see spirits and talk to spirits a lot. And I think that that I have somebody very close to me who's been diagnosed as schizophrenic, and it's been a hard journey. But we've been talking, and basically, I've told her, don't get off your medicine, but take your power back whenever these people show up. You know, you get to decide which ones you want to play with and which ones you don't. And she's actually taken her power back, starting to call on spirit guides and stuff like that. So she's taking control over it. But it started when she was real young, but she was diagnosed a little bit later in life as schizophrenic. But when she was real young and these spirits started talking to her, being from our culture, our particular religious background, she was told, no, that's not right. That's evil. Don't do that. So she kept trying to push it away. So those are my feelings on it. Do I believe there is such a thing as schizophrenia? I'm not a doctor, but I definitely don't believe every diagnosis is accurate, because I believe some people are exactly like you're saying, very, very spiritually open, just not understanding what it is or what to do with it. So I would take that son of yours, just saying, to a medium and let them visit a little bit, and perhaps the medium and the psychiatrist can work together for his best outcome. That's what I would do. Vanessa does also have a channel. It's called Intuitive Healing Numerology Network. I'm going to tell her right here, you need to change that. It's way too many words.
I can't. That's what God told me to call it. So I got to obey God.
There you go.
Can't obey you this time.
D. Baker. Okay, great. I'm excited to hear that. I want it all, but I want peace right now. Tantra teaches exactly that. Sweet Thunder, yes. His journey is very difficult. Also, I tell him to bring back in his positive spirit guides. Also, he drinks and the evil energies come out. Yeah, it's very misunderstood. He is on meds also. Thank you. Yes, I've told my person who's real close to me, because she called me one day after we've had talks for months and months. She called me and said, I feel so good. I have control again. I think I'm getting off my meds. I said, no, absolutely not. You talk to your psychiatrist about this, but she's sleeping better. She is having much fewer anxiety attacks. I mean, the difference is starting to show, and she's starting to take less medication under the direction of her doctor. So I do believe that some people out there are misdiagnosed, but I wouldn't just say, okay, you've been misdiagnosed, throw those pills away. We're going to, no.
It's too dangerous to do that.
Yeah. It's
because
because we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Because when people have schizophrenia, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I mean, I am a master's degree in counseling and psychology. So I would be very, very careful with that, because people who are schizophrenic, who are not getting treatment and they're not cared for, they can be a danger to themselves and other people because of the voices they hear. So be very careful. Absolutely. I don't see it as a spiritual thing, because to me, again, if it's spiritual and you're hearing evil voices that say do evil things, I can't equate that to anything that's, I'll put it this way, I don't think it's a gift. I don't think it's God. I think the person has a malfunction in their brain.
Well,
that's just me. That's just me.
We actually disagree. I love that.
We disagree.
So let me tell you,
I don't think it's a spiritual thing.
So let me tell you why I do believe that. Because whenever we're vibrating at a low place, those energies can come in. So whenever you're little and you start seeing spirits and you tell your mom and dad about it and they say, that's evil, don't play with that. So you keep trying to push them away. And the more they come to you, the more you think there's something wrong with you. So
but can I tell you about the medical part of it though? Because the brain does funny things, y'all. And I don't want you guys, I mean, I love spirituality. I love spirituality, but we need to be very careful with trying to spiritualize everything, because the brain can malfunction. The brain is a very sensitive organ. And if people have traumas and things, and we just need to be careful with that, because there's wiring in the brain. There's chemicals that get released in the brain that go haywire. So I just want y'all to be really careful, like overly spiritualizing these very serious mental disorders. I just want y'all to be careful. That's all. I'm done.
I'm gonna let her have the last word, but I also said the same thing. Be careful.
Be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Don't throw your medicine out the door. But I say explore it. She is incredibly better right now. So just saying. But she has her power back. I think it anyway. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a psychiatrist.
I'm not a doctor either.
Okay, so schizophrenia is a mental illness by science. The spiritual knowledge, it's a role play within dimensional changes of memories that mimic similar dialogue between lifetimes. Very interesting.
Everything is not spiritual, Sapphire. I'm sorry. We are body, soul, and spirit. I'm
Yes.
sorry, guys. You cannot ignore the physical body. We are body, soul, and we are spirit. We are
Okay,
spiritual people having a human experience, and we do have a body that we need to understand how it operates as well. We're not, everything is not just spiritual, guys. I'm sorry.
No, but she started out saying schizophrenia is a mental illness by science.
No, I'm talking about Sapphire said everything is spiritual, Vanessa. I'm responding to Sapphire. Sapphire said everything is spiritual. I'm saying, no, it's not. That's very dangerous to tell people that everything is spiritual, because we are three-dimensional beings. We're not just spirit.
Okay, so well, let's have this conversation. It depends on what do our words mean, right? Because this coffee cup, right, is also made up of the same spirit that I am. It's got
I'm not negating that, but I'm also saying we also have a body. Right. If we didn't have a body, then you could just say, yeah, that's a spiritual issue. But because we came into this three-dimensional reality with bodies, your body is going to do things just like getting a cold. Y'all gonna call a cold a spirit too? Yeah. There are certain things within our atmosphere, in our environments, that cause the body to malfunction. And we need to be careful just telling everybody that this stuff, everything is spiritual, because the body, it's gonna malfunction at times because we're in this 3D reality that's not in a perfect state yet. Right. In heaven, in the heavenly dimension, we won't have those things. But because we're here, there is environmental things that can affect our body. Mm-hmm. So everything, you can't say that everything is spiritual, guys. I do have a little bit of knowledge. And I'm a very spiritual person, but we don't want people just walking it. Because I saw that in church a lot, Sheryl. I saw people who I knew they needed to go see a therapist, a psychiatrist. You could see the multiple personalities. You could see the schizophrenia. Oh no, it's just because the anointing that's on my life, I'm under attack by the enemy. I just want y'all to be careful that there's nothing, just like you go to the physical doctor when you're not feeling well. And I understand science, the medical community has issues, but to minimize somebody's mental, I'm an advocate for the mental health community, because I see too many people shaming folks that have mental issues, and there's nothing wrong if you need to go get your mind and your brain.
I agree with that.
Restored and healed.
I agree.
But that's all. I'm on my soapbox because this is I'm the neuroscience coach. So when you start talking about the brain and stuff, I get real passionate because I understand the things that happen inside of our brains. And so I think we need to be very careful minimizing something as potentially dangerous as schizophrenia to saying that it's spiritual, because these people, if they're left untreated, they can harm themselves and other people.
I agree with that.
I'm getting off my soapbox.
Well, and just so you're clear, I agree with that. That's the same thing I said, is that they need to stay on their medicine. They need to stay with their doctor, because I'm not a doctor, but I do believe, and I will always say this, I do believe some cases are misdiagnosed. I do believe that.
Jennifer says she wants to hear what you were going to say about the cup.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, that's because Vanessa's always cutting me off, huh? Because she got a big mouth.
I learned it from you. I learned from the best.
So I was just going to say, spirit is in everything. Whenever we can recognize that spirit truly is an energy that is in everything, runs through everything, and is part of everything, that even this is part of spirit. Even this is the rate that molecules or atoms vibrate, right? They vibrate a certain place to make this look solid. But nothing is really solid. If you read all again, I'm not a scientist, but if you read all those, you watch, what is that called? The double split experiment. It's almost like these scientists are saying, it's almost like we create the universe as we look for it. What we look for. It's kind of like what you were saying earlier in church. You didn't know anything about all this stuff. I says, because we weren't looking for it. It was always there, but it was never in our experience. But yeah, it's if a person
if this person 20 years ago who has schizophrenia, if they
Oh,
didn't know all the,
I thought we were done with that. We talking about a cup.
Well, I'm responding to the cup. I'm saying, because I understand what you're saying, but a person who has schizophrenia, if they're not aware of what you just said, if they're not aware, it's just like we talked about, if I didn't know this stuff existed in church, I wouldn't know it. So if a person doesn't know, like if I have a baby tonight, I could train my baby on how to take care of her brain. Probably she wouldn't get schizophrenia. But 20 years ago or 30 years ago, when people didn't know this stuff and those manifestations happened because they were not processing their trauma correctly, they were not processing their crisis correctly, that caused malfunctions in the brain. That's why I'm saying the disorder, the dysfunction, you can't just spiritualize it just because we are spirit. We know we're spirit. People have cancer. They're spirit too, but they may have their diet may have caused them to get cancer. So I'm just saying to tell, I'm from the counseling community, guys, and we're very big on integrity. And sometimes when we say things like that, it can make a person feel, it can make them feel bad if we say, oh, you could fix that. It's just a spiritual thing. We just got to be careful talking like that. That's all I'm saying. But you're right. We are all
Who's
spirit.
talking like that? Who's talking like that?
We're saying this is just, I'm responding to Sapphire, who said everything is spiritual.
Okay.
I'm saying, no, everything is not spiritual. Just because we're all spirit doesn't mean that everything is spiritual. We're a body, we're three-dimensional. So you can't just say everything is spiritual because we have bodies.
Right.
We have bodies. If we didn't have bodies, you could say that.
But we can't but just because somebody does not believe, as I'm feeling a little defensive. I'm just going to tell you.
You always feeling defensive.
Huh?
You always feeling defensive.
That is not true. Just because somebody doesn't feel as strongly about that it is just strictly a medical condition as you do, doesn't mean that we don't have integrity. Because, and I agree that not every single person diagnosed with schizophrenia is a psychic or a medium or whatever that just got misdiagnosed. But I still believe, just like some people are misdiagnosed with cancer, just like some people are misdiagnosed with everything else, some people are misdiagnosed with schizophrenia.
I agree.
And I don't believe that belittles them. I think it gives them their power back.
Sheryl, I said I was responding to Sapphire's statement that everything is spiritual. Yeah. I didn't say I was responding to what you said.
I know, but you keep coming back to it. So I keep saying, okay. Okay, Michelle says, okay.
I'm your guest on the show, right?
Michelle says, let's get on. We're done with all that. Okay, Michelle, referee, I love you. You're the best referee. Let's get on with this. Okay, so we are 5 minutes out from hour and a half. So does anybody have any final comments? Or yes, we agree to disagree. Actually, we do agree, I think, but not. She's very passionately on one side and I'm kind of more in the middle.
Yeah, but don't get defensive because we don't agree.
I'm not.
You said you were getting defensive, though. Don't be defensive because we're speaking to a multi-audience and we don't know who's watching this broadcast. Somebody is going to need what I'm saying. That's going to resonate with them. And then what you're saying is going to resonate to different people. So I don't think we need to be defensive because we don't agree. We're speaking to, I'm here to speak to whoever's resonating with my voice and you're here to speak to whoever's resonating with your voice. It'd be a pretty boring show if we agreed on everything.
I agree.
That ain't fun.
You said you were, she said, Jennifer saying, but you said you were responding to the cup. You were responding to what I said about the cup. Okay, we're done with all that. I love everybody so much. We just love you too, Breanna, and everybody. Michelle, thank you for being the referee. Alexa, thank you for saying breathe.
Love you too, Breanna. See you in the class Sunday night, Breanna.
Yeah, we'll see everybody in the class. But move on. Yes, very true, but move on. I agree. But now we've wasted all of our time having that little debate. So, but listen, guys, I love y'all so much. And I love that you guys show up here and y'all get engaged with these conversations. If there's anything that anybody has a question about that didn't get answered, please email either me or Vanessa. Vanessa is Lady CEO at vanessaorbrooks.com, and I'm spiritmailtarot@gmail.com. So, and Vanessa does have a YouTube channel. Can you say it out loud one more time and then put it in the comments too?
I'm just going to put it in the comments right here, then they'll see it.
It's Intuitive Healing Numerology Network. And mine
I just typed, hey y'all, that's me.
And mine is Spirit Mail.
It's
on the, I think it's at the bottom of my screen over there. Sheryl, Sheryl, Spirit Mail, but Spirit Mail is how you find it. Okay, guys, I love y'all so very much. I know Vanessa does too. You want to say you love them, Vanessa?
Love y'all. And I'm going to keep being me, so I don't care what kind of comments y'all make. I'm going to still be me. Hello. I'm going to still be me.
I don't think anybody's making any ugly comments.
I see Jennifer's comment. I know Jennifer, so she's like, I love you both, but you should both be able to express. I mean, we've both expressed.
Yeah, we did both express. Okay, so I love you very, very much. We're not going to keep on with this conversation, and we're going to be back next Thursday night live with Sheryl and Vanessa, and I will have roundtable Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and Tuesday night, hopefully I'll have a deep dive interview for you guys at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Deep diving.
Yeah, and in the meantime, y'all can be checking out all the tarot readings. I'm going to be doing Friday instead of pick a feather. Tomorrow, instead of pick a feather, I've got what does Spirit want to say to our monkey mind? And I hope that nobody's offended by that. But whenever I say our monkey mind, I mean that part of our mind that thinks it has to work everything out itself. It's going to be pick a monkey. I'm going to show y'all. See,
monkey mind.
You get to pick one of these monkeys. Whichever monkey you resonate with is going to have a message for you. So, but I love you guys so much again.
Interesting.
Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing y'all next time. And until then, have a super duper day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Love y'all. I am going to stop YouTube here, and then we're going to chat if you want to.